What's up? It's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're doing good. Well, check this out. I've had a lot of people ask, how do they know what grass type to plant? So I wanted to address that and give you my 2 cents on it. Now, hey, I want you to take out anything to do with fertilization and weed control. All right, get that totally and completely out of your mind. And what I'm getting at is, let's go all the way back to the bare basics and let's start from there. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, or you're familiar with it, but across the United States, there's a map. It's a growing zone map. I'm gonna put one up right here and let you see it. And what this map does is it kind of gives you a guideline as to what is suitable to grow in what areas. And guess what dictates that? Well, you see that thing? That kind of dictates all this. It definitely dictates this map, because if you look at that map, you will see that all the zones, it has a degrees or a temperature over on the column that kind of goes along with that area across the United States. Well, that's a good basic guideline to help you determine what type of plants will grow good in your area, or what kind of turf grass will grow good in your area. Now that's what I'm talking about. Who cares about the bushes? You can have that stuff. So let's talk about the turf. Now, you have all across the north, you're going to have much cooler temperatures for longer periods of time, right? Down across the south, you're going to have warmer temperatures for longer periods of time during the year. And of course, that varies from year to year. It's weather. You never know what it's going to do. But typically, for the most part, that's the way it is. Now, you've got this one little strip that kind of goes across the middle of the country, and that's called the transition zone. Now, why is all this important when you're determining what kind of grass you want? Well, it has everything to do with everything, right? Grasses are typically, the grasses that you grow in a home yard are typically broke up into 2 groups. Warm season, cool season. Cool season turf typically does better in a cooler environment, right? Hence the name. Warm season turf typically does better in a warmer environment. Hence the name warm season, cool season. Well, now, before I get into this, I want to make sure you know that I'm in no way saying you can't have a warm season turf in a cooler environment up north, and you can't have a cool season turf in a warm environment down south. I'm not saying that, because people do it all the time. Now, talking about that little transition zone across the middle of the country, that's a pretty important place. So that transition zone is kind of unique, because in the transition zone, we get the best of both worlds, and we even get the worst of both worlds too. And what I mean by that is, here in Carolina, during the winter, we can get super duper cold. It's not all the time, and it's definitely not the type of cold that you guys up there in the cheese state are used to. It definitely ain't that kind of cold, but for us, it's super cold. When I say super cold, we had about a 2-week snap this year over the winter where it was around 9 or 10 or 11 degrees for about 2 weeks. And for us, that is crazy cold. Well, on the flip side of that, and see, one of the cool things is we're 9 degrees one day and 60 degrees the next day. Get that transition thing happening now, how we transition in temperature so much. We go from one extreme to the other, and it's quite often, and it's fast and rapid. Well, on the other side of that is the heat in the summer. We can bust 100 degrees with no problem. And the humidity level, you can walk outside and cut the air with a knife. It's so daggone thick. Now, we probably don't get as bad as you boys down in Louisiana and in Florida and Texas. So here in the transition zone, it may be a little more tricky to pick the type of grass you want. So I know you've went down the street and you're riding along and you're checking out the yards here and there, and you see these green yards, and then you might see a brown yard, and you might see a green yard with some brown mixed in it. Well, those during the winter time, for the most part around the country, I don't live in Florida, so I don't know if your Bermuda goes completely dormant or not. I have no clue. But for the most part, wintertime, that warm season, that Bermuda, maybe a St. Augustine, maybe a zoysia, gosh, there's so many of them. It's gonna shut down because it can't tolerate that cold temperature. It's gonna go to sleep and turn brown. I want you to know that you can't trick a warm season turf into not going dormant. If somebody knows how, you would probably be a multi-gazillionaire. But once that frost hits, and once those temperatures and the air temperature and the ground temperature starts to decline and drop and go down, your Bermuda and things like that are going dormant. If you know a way to stop that from happening, you'd probably be wealthy. Now, on the flip side of that, let's talk about fescue in general, because I like fescue. You know that by now. I'm a fescue guy. You can trick fescue into thriving and being a very hardy plant and doing exceptionally well during the hot periods of time. Of course, it takes a lot of work and that kind of thing, but I've spent the last 15 years trying to work on that and beat the heat stress that can basically take over tall fescue during the summer. I know you've seen it. Yard's looking really good during the spring. All of a sudden it goes a month without rain, turns off 98 degrees, and whoop, there goes the yard, just brown and crispy. Well, I've got ways around that. Let's even break that down a little further. Let's get into your own yard and talk about it. Now here's what I mean by that. Let's take a look at something. All right, so what I mean by getting into your own personal yard is, let's look at something. Now you can see here in this particular yard, this is mine, I'm wide open, full direct sunlight. The sun comes up over here and goes woo, right around in there, and it ends up right about over here. During the day, my yard basically gets full direct sunlight until the sun gets right about here, and then that's why I planted these row of cryptomeria. It's going to shade the backyard and shade a portion of the front yard to kind of help cool the fescue off. I deliberately and intentionally planted that row of cryptomeria there specifically to be able to add some relief to my turf after a long hot day. That's why I did that. Well, what I'm getting at is I could have Bermuda or zoysia. If I wanted a Bermuda or zoysia yard or a warm season grass, there's nothing that would stop me from having one here. The reason I say that is I'm full sun. The Bermuda could thrive. It could have all the sunlight in the world, get all the heat that it could possibly want, and it would do quite well. Now, of course, I deal with a completely brown yard during the winter. That's just not my thing. If it's your thing, that's awesome. Keep at it. But for me, it wouldn't work. But I'm simply telling you this to help you make a decision. Now, if you have a yard that has shade in it, lots of trees, that kind of thing, Bermuda's probably not your option. You probably want to go with a shade tolerant type cool season turf that can tolerate that environment it's living in. You got to think of it this way. In one yard, there are many microclimates, meaning we're in one big climate, but if we get over here in this little corner of the yard, that climate changes because maybe it has trees overhanging. Maybe it has something like my cryptomeria blocking the sunlight from it. that would be considered a microclimate. Maybe that area holds water better than another area. There's many different microclimates. So I hope this helps you to kind of understand how to pick the right grass for your yard, because that's a big deal. I mean, it's huge. I can't tell you how many times we have went to a new client's yard and they say, Pete, we've been trying for years to get grass to grow up under this tree and it just won't grow. Well, that's simply because of the microclimate that turf is trying to grow in. That one little section to where it gets full shade all day long, right up under a tree. Photosynthesis can't take place. The tree may block all of the rain or a portion of the rain that reaches the root system. It's the root system of the tree is robbing nutrients, taking water away from the plant. It's so many things that happen in a microclimate. So I hope I didn't ramble too much, but I hope you got the basic point of the video, is pick the right grass for your yard if you want a successful yard. And again, it doesn't mean you can't have a cool season turf down in Georgia, because you can. You just may have to manage that turf a little more stringently, a little more, you may have to put a little more into it to get the final result. And it by no means, hey, people I just come from Pennsylvania. I saw many Bermuda yards up there. And during the summer, they're probably glowing like a new penny. So you can have a Bermuda yard up there. But if you're starting from scratch and you want to optimize you want to maximize your turf grass or your yard, make sure you pick the right grass type. Do some research and figure that out. And hey, thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Peace out.